Welcome back to day 2 of our wee game we're playing with Drinks by the Drams Advent Calendar Whiskies of Christmas here. If you didn't catch us for the intro and number 1, you probably should, otherwise you'll be behind the times on this one. But a wee catch up for people that are just joining us. We're playing a little game with this one. We are swapping the hat, we are alternating the hat, and the bearer of the hat shall blind taste one of these drinks by the dram in their usual sequence, and they will make 3 guesses for a maximum of 3 points. First, Dave will make a guess as to the nature of the spirit. So this we should say, because nothing's easy in the world of whiskey. The first guess shall be the nature of the spirit itself. Is it single malt? Is it single grain? Is it a blend? Because we know all 3 are in here somewhere. It's just a case of when they're going to pop up. The second guess shall be to the region, and we are breaking this up into Highland, Speyside, Islay, Campbellton and Island, and I think that's as granular as we need to go. That really covers all the bases. God help us if it's
Lowlands.
Lowlands, yes, no, that's very remiss. Lowlands in there as well. It's probably one of the more pickable ones, because we'll be absolutely buggered if it's a question between Highland and Speyside, because that is a very arbitrary line.
I like to think I can pick that distinction, but I like to think a lot of things, and it's trying to make them true.
Time to put the money where the hat is. I shall extract number 2 and pour you a wee dram.
Thank you.
Where are we? Here we are.
Wee drams, being a whole 30 mils total, or 15 millilitres per person.
Grief, they're in here,
They're well packaged, yeah.
Contents has definitely not shifted during transportation. I slightly mangled that one, but we're okay. Just tongs to get it out of there. Aha! Alright.
We'll show the bottle label to you without telling me a thing.
I shall reveal the bottle. This one's gone a bit drippy with the wax.
Oh.
So, this one should be news to nobody, and if that isn't clear, I will caption it on the video, so don't worry. You should all be seeing it below your screens now. This one, I think I may have got the easier of the 2 here. This one is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, the first one, the Islay offering from that boutique whiskey company, that was all Islay all the way. There was no mistaking that. But you did well to pick up on things like the sheer high ABV intensity of it.
And there
They're poured and we're good to go. Okay. Get some snoot action going on. Ooh. There is some levity. I'm getting some sort of there's some almost slightly chemical properties there. A bit of modelling glue. I'm thinking there is a hearty grain component here. This is just my initial impressions based on the olfactory experience. This could well be a blended whiskey or even a single grain. It is probably relatively young, or else it's a refilled cask. There's not a great rich woody depth of character to the nose. It is quite clear cut. It is a particular niche of flavours, aromas rather.
Are we thinking young or are we thinking old?
Without having tasted it yet, I would say relatively young. So I'm going to taste some while keep my mind open and try some and see what's up. Ooh. A strong burn on the back of the throat, but there's an underlying array of sweetness, but not a great intensity of flavour. I'm going to take another sip and see what is actually happening there.
I'm going to give you one hint here, and it's not a big hint. There'll be no coaching here. This is a hard one.
Okay. Well, based purely on what I've experienced so far, I'm thinking this is neither extremely young nor extremely old, between, say, 10 and 12 years possibly. The impression I'm getting, this is either it's a blend, or else it is a single grain.
You have to pick one.
I have to pick one. In that case, I'm going to...
No fishing in the single malt review.
Yes. Gotta keep it real. and possibly just prove how much I do know my stuff. Very tough call. I'm going to say, though, this is a blended whiskey. I'm thinking it has quite a strong Lowland or Campbellton influence. I'm not sure even how many blends come out of the Lowlands or Campbellton or heavily emphasised, but there's a strong grain whiskey component to this one. Possibly no age statement. I could be wrong on many fronts.
And obviously, if the blend sort of negates it from being able to say a distillery, do you want to cast the net extremely wide and name a blend? Which is asking the absolute human impossible, I understand. But you've got to make a grab.
Oh man. This contradicts the things I've just said about regions, but is this possibly one of the more boutique or high-end blends from famous grouse? There's a degree of sweetness there, which is making me think of some of the sweeter, less sort of entry-level famous grouse blends.
Is that your final answer?
Why not?
Why not? All right. So we've got it's a blend,
Huzzah.
and I think that's remarkably apt. Not in every case, but it is a blend. You got that one exactly. It's blend. It's young.
It is monkey shoulder.
The only points taken away is it's a blended malt. There was no grain.
There's no grain in there. Wow.
Monkey shoulder. This, of course, is the no age statement blend put together by the people at Glenfiddich. So it will be largely Glenfiddich whiskey, a little bit of Balvenie whiskey in there, and maybe a few other bits and bobs thrown in.
And the Glenfiddich would contribute to much of that Highland sweetness I was picking up on, but it was so...
It's a whiskey which will be, to some people, not us, because we've never actually reviewed it. It's been years and years since I've even tasted it.
I may not have ever tasted monkey shoulder just on its own.
But in terms of... No, the real question is, where the real points are, what do you think of it? Do you like it? I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of young whiskey there, but the relatively low strength of 40% softens that somewhat, so it's not the kind of acrid, raw spirit burn you normally get from a very young Scotch.
I've always...
I assumed grain, but they'll teach me to have assumptions.
No, I think guessing the fact it was a blend, when it was a blended malt, that was the hardest part. Guessing a blend that does have grain in it, much harder. Guessing the fact that it wasn't a single malt, even though it's a collection of single malts, that I think was prescient.
I don't know, I feel that's probably the easier part, because if it's a single malt, the flavour profile is going to be more punctuated, have distinct highlights for each of the different components. Here, it's much more of there's more of a broad swath of flavours rather than any single highlights, so that's more indicative of a blend. It is a blend of characteristics instead of a collection of discrete properties.
Well, and you almost couldn't get a more different one from the first pick as well. You know, I think we're doing rather well. If you're following along in the game, then let us know what your first thoughts of. And how do you like Monkey Shoulder? I've always sort of gone a bit hum-ho on it, because the asking price for a no-age statement blended malt is, you'd have to say, pretty high. It's got kind of a price tag on it for something that is really pretty young in terms of how it comes across, but I don't know.
This is a sweet, tasty blend, but knowing that what Monkey Shoulder goes for on the open market, it's definitely paying more than what it's actually worth.
You definitely gives you the idea that there's definitely 6 to 10 year old whiskey in here, and not a great deal else. But anyway. Compelling stuff here at Single Malt Review. I'm getting excited now. Anything could happen, so come back for the 3rd episode, which will be coming up tomorrow, and we will see the when the inevitable, awful, embarrassing crash happens, and it'll be me in the hat seat then. So join us for that one. Slanja, we'll be right back.